I'm Michelle, and this is Phil, or Philly Chinchilli. He is on Instagram and TikTok. He has the same username on both, Philly Chinchilli. And lately on TikTok, we've been getting some questions that are just tough to answer in the shorter format of those videos. So we decided to make a YouTube so that I could answer some of those for you. Right, Phil? Can you stand up? There you go, good boy. So I wrote them down. I'm just gonna do a few, and then if you have any more, feel free to ask them in the comments, or if you're still asking them on TikTok, I will try to scan through and address those in another video. The first one that I tend to get is, how old is Phil? Phil is about 6 years old. Hey buddy, come here babe. Here, what's wrong? Hi, good boy. He's about 6 years old. His birthday is December 5th, so he's actually probably like 6.5. Although actually I guess that means he's probably closer to 7. Because the other one that I tend to get a lot is, how old was Phil when I got him? And he was most likely around 6 months. I'm not exactly sure, they didn't know exactly. So he's actually probably right around 7 right now, but I don't like to think about that, so I say he's still 6 because he turned 6 for his gotcha day in December. Scratchy, 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 scratchy. Where did I get Phil? So I got Phil at a pet store. I would not advocate for that. Not that I have anything against pet stores, but from what I've read online, they tend to get their animals from like what are considered backyard breeders, like breeders without licenses, and they can tend to have more like health issues that arise. So there are registered chinchilla breeders. You can definitely look them up on Google, or there are chinchilla specific rescues, or a lot of like SPCAs and things like that will also have chinchillas and other small animals for adoption. So I would highly recommend going with one of those routes. I did not do research on that end ahead of time. I did research as far as like their care and their needs, and I wish I had known that, but at the same time I wouldn't have my little guy if I hadn't done it the way I did. So I would definitely say rescues or a breeder, but he is from a pet store. Would I recommend getting a chinchilla? I absolutely would. I adore Phil. Literally adore Phil. Like, we have a garden flag in front of our house that's Phil. Phil has merch that I'm wearing. I adore him. He is just such a cutie, has such a wonderful personality, but at the same time they have really specific needs. I'm not going to go into all of them in this video because it would take quite some time, but one of the biggest ones is probably their need for cooler temperatures. So I definitely wouldn't recommend getting one if you are not in a position where you don't have control over your thermostat in your living arrangement, because they do need it to be about 70 degrees Fahrenheit or under. They say that right around 72 is the like absolute max that they can withstand, but because like temperatures tend to fluctuate a little bit and it can be a little bit different from room to room, we keep ours at like 69, no higher than 70. Hi, Bubba. So that's probably the biggest thing. So it can get quite pricey during the summer months to make sure that it's at that cool of a temperature. So that's my biggest piece of advice, is that I would make sure that that's definitely not going to be a concern before even considering one. How did I train Phil? That is definitely something that I can get into more depth in another video, but I'm not a animal trainer, pet trainer, anything like that. I have a master's in applied behavior analysis, so I work with children and adults with various developmental disabilities on like reducing negative behaviors and increasing positive behaviors. So I have training in behavior, but not animal behavior. So I would definitely, recommend consulting with a certified licensed animal trainer versus relying on like what my exact methodology was, but I do have like some pointers that I can talk about that are more vague, or like once I, work with a friend who is an animal trainer on like more specifics. But overall, he was trained using applied behavior analysis, positive reinforcement. He, in the beginning, received treats very quickly, within like 3 to 5 seconds after displaying a target behavior. So if the target behavior was holding the card, if he just touched the card, then he would get a treat right after, and then slowly what we consider shaping it into the behavior that is the final behavior. So actually like holding the card and staying for about 10 seconds or so. So you do it slowly over time. I can definitely go into more details on it, but long story short, positive reinforcement, applied behavior analysis is how he was trained. Okay, another one that I just thought of and forgot to write down was I often get asked about Phil's little accessories. He does often wear bow ties. He's not wearing one right now, but these are Katie Lou. I can put her website in the description box in case you guys want to shop them, as well as his little hats that he wears. You gonna stay still for a hat, Bubba? There you go. Good boy. Those are Buster's Party Shop. So I can also put her website down below. She is an Etsy shop. And the last one that I tend to get asked quite a bit is, how long did it take me to bond with Phil? So I would say probably between 6 and 8 months of consistently spending time with him daily. But at the same time, I am constantly around him. So I can only say from my experience that the bond that we have probably has a lot to do with the maintenance as far as the time that I've spent with him too. Well, I think it's really probably pretty important to try to socialize them as early as you can. I don't see why, considering he was probably around 6 months that I got him, that you couldn't, bond really well with a rescue as long as you are, making an effort to spend time with them daily. I probably spent about 30 to 45 minutes with him each day, just while he was in his cage or having a little bit of out of cage playtime, just to be around him, not, working on anything specific with training, just getting him used to me as a whole. And that's probably why he is really great with not trying to run away or anything like that. But can you stand up? There you go, good boy. What do you do to your little facey? There you go, Bubba. So that's it for our first video. I'll leave Phil's merch link. Hi sir, hi baby. Down below in case you are interested in that, as well as the links for his bow ties and his hats. And last but not least, we would love it if you would consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, just so we know whether or not you are enjoying this content. We'd be happy to do some longer form videos for you, since we obviously have more flexibility on YouTube than TikTok. But with that being said, we're still gonna continue making TikToks and doing Instagram posts as well. Hope that you guys all have a wonderful day, and hopefully you'll be interested in subscribing, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Say bye-bye, Phil.